Nintendo doesn't chase trends the way other companies do. They don't compete in graphics wars. They don't flood the market with yearly sequels. And yet, decade after decade, players keep coming back. Not just for nostalgia, but because Nintendo understands something fundamental about how we play. From control design to psychology, from sound design to scarcity, they've built a system that turns casual players into lifelong fans. So today, we're breaking down 8 specific ways Nintendo keeps players coming back, again and again. The first reason Nintendo keeps players coming back is simple, but incredibly powerful. Their controls feel natural almost immediately. When you press right in Super Mario Bros., you move. When you jump, it feels precise. There's no tutorial overload, no complicated button mapping, just instinct. Ocarina of Time introduced Z-targeting at a time when 3D combat felt clunky across the industry, and suddenly players could focus on strategy instead of wrestling with the camera. Wii Sports took it even further by removing abstraction entirely. You swung your arm, and the character swung theirs. Nintendo designs input to disappear. When players aren't thinking about the controller, immersion increases. That lowers frustration, builds confidence, and makes failure feel fair instead of punishing. And when a game feels fair, players stick with it longer, and they come back to it years later without feeling lost. The second reason is that Nintendo prioritizes mechanics before narrative. The core question isn't, what's the plot? It's, what's fun to do? Super Mario Odyssey is built around the joy of possession, the ability to become nearly anything in the world. Tears of the Kingdom revolves around physics systems that allow creativity far beyond the intended solution. These mechanics aren't side features, they're the foundation. The story supports the gameplay, not the other way around. That means replayability isn't tied to cutscenes or dialogue, it's tied to experimentation. Players return because movement feels good, because experimenting feels rewarding, because the systems interact in surprising ways. And when gameplay itself is satisfying on a mechanical level, the desire to return doesn't need artificial incentives. It happens naturally. The third reason Nintendo succeeds is their ability to evolve without abandoning identity. They rarely scrap a formula entirely. Instead, they refine it. Mario transitioned from 2D to 3D while maintaining the same core movement philosophy. Zelda shifted from dungeon-focused progression to open-air exploration in Breath of the Wild, yet still retained the spirit of discovery. Smash grew from a quirky party fighter into a massive crossover event without losing its accessibility. That balance creates trust. Players know a new entry won't feel unrecognizable, but they also know it won't feel stale. Nintendo builds on foundations rather than chasing reinvention for its own sake. That consistency allows players to age with the franchise instead of outgrowing it. The fourth reason is psychological. Music as memory architecture. Nintendo themes are not just soundtracks, they are identity markers. The Super Mario Overworld theme is instantly recognizable decades later. Zelda's Lullaby reappears in new arrangements across multiple generations. These melodies resurface in subtle ways that trigger emotional recall. Hearing a few notes can transport players back to childhood living rooms or late-night gaming sessions. That emotional memory forms attachment stronger than graphics ever could. When a new game references an old motif, it feels intentional, like a callback, not repetition. And those callbacks reinforce loyalty. Music becomes a bridge between past and present, ensuring that every new entry feels connected to something familiar. The fifth reason Nintendo retains players is layered difficulty. On the surface, their games appear approachable, but beneath that accessibility lies depth. A casual player can finish a Mario campaign comfortably, but completionists can chase every hidden star, secret level, and perfect run. Breath of the Wild can be completed quickly, yet it also supports hundreds of hours of exploration, challenge runs, and self-imposed restrictions. This scalability means the game adapts to the player, rather than forcing the player to adapt to it. Beginners aren't overwhelmed, and veterans aren't bored. As skill increases, new challenges reveal themselves. That layered structure keeps players invested long after the main story ends. The sixth reason is Nintendo's focus on timeless character design over realism. Mario barely speaks, Link is largely silent, yet both are deeply recognizable and emotionally resonant. Instead of hyper-realistic detail that ages quickly, Nintendo prioritizes silhouette, animation, and expressiveness. These characters don't chase trends, they embody identity. Because they aren't tied to realism, they remain visually consistent across decades. That continuity builds familiarity, and familiarity builds attachment. When players return to a new installment, they aren't just playing a sequel, they're reconnecting with characters they've grown alongside. That emotional consistency fosters loyalty that transcends hardware generations. The seventh reason Nintendo thrives is its emphasis on shared experiences. Mario Kart isn't simply a racing game, it's structured chaos designed for living rooms. Smash Bros. Turns friendly competition into spectacle. Even newer entries maintain drop-in accessibility that encourages group play. These shared experiences create emotional anchors. When players associate a brand with laughter, rivalry, and shared memories, the attachment becomes stronger than solo play alone. Nintendo understands that gaming is often social, and they design with that in mind. Those moments become traditions, and traditions bring players back. The eighth and final reason Nintendo keeps players returning is restraint. Major releases are spaced carefully. Flagship titles aren't annual obligations, they're events. Long development cycles build anticipation rather than fatigue. Limited-time releases and collector's editions amplify urgency. When a new Zelda launches, it feels monumental because it hasn't been diluted by oversaturation. Scarcity builds anticipation. Anticipation builds hype. And hype ensures massive return engagement. By resisting the temptation to flood the market, Nintendo keeps each release meaningful, and that meaning keeps players watching, waiting, and coming back. So when you look at it closely, it's not luck, and it's not just nostalgia. Nintendo has spent decades refining how games feel, how they connect across generations, and how they stay meaningful long after release. That consistency builds something most studios struggle to maintain: long-term loyalty. And that's why, no matter how much the industry changes, players keep coming back. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Thanks for watching!